Under one of Australia's scorching bushes, you pop out of a damp egg. Welcome, little frilled lizard. Before you can even open your eyes, you instinctively realize everything wants to eat you. Birds, snakes, bigger lizards, even some hungry-bellied frogs. Yes, nature is not very hospitable. And your mother? She buried the eggs 3 months ago, then said, "My work is done," and walked away. Not a goodbye, not a "take care, son" look. You, along with a few of your brothers and sisters, climb out from under the earth. The first thing is to disperse, because staying together would be like saying to the enemies, "Here's the buffet." You're only a few hours old, but you need Ninja Turtle reflexes to survive. A shadow passes over you, a bird. You freeze instantly. Your patterns, like thorny leaves, make you invisible on the sand. The bird passes. You pass the first test. Congratulations. There are only a few thousand more. Let's talk about your appearance. Normally you're calm, sweet, even a little skinny. But when you sense a threat, bam, the giant collar around your neck opens. It's like something out of a 16th century royal ball. This collar is called a frill, and it's not just a charismatic accessory. It's also a natural way of saying, "Don't mess with me." You can't throw sparkly confetti next to you, but this collar makes you look 3 times bigger than you are. So you're less of a lizard and more of an inflatable fear balloon. But just a collar is not enough, because snakes don't care, especially the black king snake. As it crawls towards you, you can't open that fancy collar and say, "I'm against snakes." Fortunately, you have another plan B, running on 2 legs. Yes, you heard me right. You stand up on your toes and run in a panic with your hands in the air. A kangaroo who sees you will look at you as if to say, "What is this, show business?" But it works. You may or may not make it to the bush in that moment, but at least you have a dramatic escape. You spend the first months feeding on spiders and small insects. You don't even forgive mosquitoes. If you find a termite nest, it's a feast. You try to survive by eating hundreds of insects a day. But there are enemies waiting in line to prey on you. When you learn that you can leave your tail and run away, you realize for the first time, wow, nature is so smart. While that tail is dealing with the enemy, you speed away. Then the tail slowly grows longer, but it's never the same as the first time. Can a copy ever replace the original? When winter comes, you slow down a bit. Your body temperature drops and you go into a partial reptilian meditation. Sometimes you stay still for hours, just collecting the sun's heat. You are a kind of natural solar panel. No Wi-Fi, no social media. Silence, sun, and a slow metabolism in your body. You have passed your first year. You're still alive. Statistically, that's an achievement. But life is just beginning. You're growing. The skin on your collar is thicker, your patterns clearer. You're no longer just surviving, you're defending territory. If another male frilled lizard enters your territory, things get complicated. You open your collar, straighten your body and sway back and forth in small steps, a kind of lizard hypnosis. If the other is equally determined, the duel begins. But the fight rarely turns into physical violence, because nobody wants to go home with a torn collar. If you're a male and you see a female frilly, things change. You walk slowly, you pause. You walk again, you pause again. All this glitchy walking is actually a courtship ritual. If the female is attracted, there's a brief pairing and then it's every man for himself. No home, no nest. Relationships don't even show up on Facebook. Everyone is a lone warrior. For the female frilly, the real work begins now. She has to find a safe place for her eggs, lay about 8 to 20 eggs and bury them in the ground. And then, bye-bye boys, you're on your own. There's no helicopter motherhood in nature. Between your second and third year, you really master it. You know where to hide, which insects are the most nutritious, which birds give you the most trouble. Some people even see you and say, "Oh, it looks like the dinosaur from Jurassic Park." They are right. You are distantly related to a dinosaur called Dilophosaurus. He threw spit, you just look cool. It's still impressive. As time passes, your reflexes slow down a bit. Your catch rate goes down. Now you're guiding the young frillies. They ask why your collar is so worn. You start to explain, "Once I locked eyes with a big black snake." You wake up one morning in your 4th or 5th year. The sun is the same, the bushes are the same. But you are more tired. You lose your balance a little when you run standing up. You'd rather lie in the sun for a long time than chase insects. Now you've lived your life to the fullest. You ran, you escaped, you threatened, you multiplied. In your last days, lying quietly in the shade of a tree, you close your eyes. The collar is closed, the heart is slow. Maybe another generation will find your collar one day and say, "What is this, a fancy fashion?" But you know, This collar was a symbol of survival, a combination of elegance, fear, and style in the lizard world, from a little reptile to a frilly legend. Your life went by as fast as the opening of a collar.